Hello and welcome to the Master of Public Health Capstone course. I am Dr. Jenny Hall and I will be your professor for this course. I'm going to take a few minutes in this video to go over the Moodle page with you and the different resources that are available to you for you to be successful in this course. So what this course is about is really synthesizing what you've learned over the course of the Master of Public Health program and providing you opportunities to apply what you've learned. So it is very closely linked to your internship or research experience, or maybe you did a combination of the two of those. And then it also has, of course, the comprehensive exam. So I'm going to go over the different projects with you a little bit more detail and the resources that are available here for you on Moodle. If you haven't had a chance yet, please make sure to check out the syllabus that is available to you. It goes over the grading scale and the policies that are similar to other courses that you've had with me, but definitely take a look at that. A couple important dates for this semester are pointed out here. If for some reason they need to be changed, it will also be posted here, but they're also included in the assignments and when they're due. So the activities that you're doing besides the exam, which I'll cover here towards the end, the activities that you're doing, you want to apply the public health core competencies as well as the essential public health services. So the essential health services have been recently revised, so please use the newly revised essential public health services, and you can find those here. And you're going to particularly want to apply those in your executive summary. So when you are creating your objectives for your internship, or when you created them for your research experience or internship, hopefully you also did that in mind with the core competencies of public health or those essential public health services. If not, then you want to apply them now and in here, because it is a chunk of what we're really looking for and what's being graded on in that summary. So this summary, you will include a title page. It's a 6-page maximum limit. The title page is not included in that. You'll have an introduction, your learning outcomes and objectives, results and findings based on those, discussion section. In the discussion section, you can talk about, what went well, what didn't go well, maybe if you weren't able to achieve some of the objectives, why, and that sort of thing. And then make some recommendations, both for maybe a future intern or a future person doing research, but then also for the organization. That's a good place for that. And then an ultimate conclusion and how the experience went. So references, you do want to reference the competencies in essential public health services. You may not have too many in addition to that, but if you do, please make sure to include them here, and that reference page is not included in the limit. I do encourage you to include in an appendix. It is optional, but if you've done any sort of data analysis, for example, in a research project or even for an organization, you could include those figures or tables there, or if you created anything as part of your internship. So maybe you created educational materials, flyers, or let's see, a person has done different surveillance reporting, new documents for the public health department in the past. So you could insert those here as the appendix, anything that really supports what you did. So the executive summary is very much tied to that research and internship experience, and that's what you're writing that summary about. Attached here is the grading rubric, so you can see what it is I'm looking for when grading this, and looking at overall quality, APA, and then each of the sections that are outlined, but then also that application to the essential public health services. And you can see here it's twice as much as some of the others, so really make sure you apply that. Some people will use that, put that in the discussion section as a spot, or may link them and intertwine those throughout. But wherever you feel it fits, there's not a set spot, but I will look overall how well you applied those to your paper. The next two items are the video testimonial and the application project. So this video testimonial, you're required to develop a short video, 3 to 5 minutes. It can be linked to your executive summary and practicum experience. It really should be, and in that form of a short video presentation. And here I'm really looking that you highlight the impact that you had on the organization and how you were able to apply different MPH coursework into that experience. So the impact can be on you and or the organization. It's great to see both. And they're really intended to help future students, particularly, but also alumni and community members see the impact that our students are having. There's been some really awesome projects done in the past through internships and research that we hear as faculty, but then we're not able to share them out. So this new way of sharing about your experience is intended to send that out. So it definitely include any images that you can. It would be really appropriate if there's photographs, tables or figures here again, and other highlights that you had. So the grading rubric is going to help you a lot in developing your video testimonial. And I would go through, and outline your video first and use the rubric to help with how you're going to outline and the things you're going to think about for your for the video itself. So you can see that looking at how well you introduced the project, the roles, responsibilities and activities that you had as part of it, and that you really made a clear and appropriate link to the program or applicable coursework. In there, the impact, like I mentioned, on you and or the organization, or even the population that was served. If you were out working with people, that would be a great way to show the impact that you had. Visuals are great, although if you want to take the approach and you're just talking, but be creative, try to integrate some images in there as well, looking at organization and it's in the time limit, and good presentation skills, and then just overall quality. And when I'm looking at the quality, is it a good representation of the program? Can it be disseminated as is? And this project is going to be evaluated by the MPH faculty. So it's more than just me that is evaluating you on this. The last one, and a little bit bigger, so the executive summary and the video testimonial are 20% of your overall grade, and this application project is 30%. This is where you can be creative in how you want to the type of project, but it needs to be in a form of an electronic public health educational resource. This is also intended for dissemination and to the public. This will be shared through the MPH possibly website, but our Facebook, LinkedIn pages, maybe through email, that type of thing. So we are also looking that this can be disseminated. The topic is where you can be creative. It can be inspired by something that you learned or did through your research or internship project. So you could expand on that and create something for the population you served or for the organization, or just on a topic that is important and significant at the time that you are completing this project. So last COVID-19 and the pandemic, there's been a lot going on. I had a previous student do something around mental health. I've had a couple of students that, and providing resources to people around mental health. And that can be an excellent topic area, even outside of COVID-19. But one particularly did it for healthcare professionals. There's burnout and stress and things like that going on as well. Because you do want to pay attention to your audience. That's part of the the grading. You can do the general public, but I think the more targeted, the better and easier it is. And so you can think about how you would target it to a specific population. And so then when we do dissemination, maybe it's not just our Facebook, we could, say this, but we could actually disseminate it to the people that you intended it to serve. So public service announcement, infographics, a website, or other approved digital platform. Canva's got some really fun templates on different things to give you ideas. And I am more than happy to provide some other ideas and resources for you as well. You can also do multiple platforms if you think multiple things, if you want to do more. This is 30% of your project. So one simple infographic might not be enough. That's why I have infographics as plural. But it's really about the quality here. But then the second part of the project is making sure that you have multiple social media announcements to accompany it. So looking for a couple Facebook posts, a LinkedIn post, and a couple hashtags to go with it. Canva, again, has some social media posts that you can use with imaging that can be fun. Make sure there is evidence and proper use of APA for all citations and references, and there should be references here. This is evidence-based, so it's not you just kind of putting, although you've learned a lot, you can apply that, you need to use evidence and show that it's evidence-based information that you're sharing out and that you're disseminating. So cite that in APA. You can put little footnotes at the bottom of the infographic. If you do decide to use numbers, I do allow the little numbers, but then for the full citation on the bottom, use APA. And that can be in a smaller font, so you're not taking away from the content. Or if you use the citation, the APA citation within the item, you can also make that a little bit smaller font too, especially maybe for some longer ones. It's very, very important to pay attention to grammar, spelling, formatting, proper citations, coloring. If you're making something for the elderly population, really make sure those colors, you're not using too many colors, that there's contrast and the size of the letters or the font is large enough. So you want to make sure you're considering your audience, whichever audience that is. Generally in public health, we keep things at about a 5th to 6th grade level. So try not to have it too, if you're using scientific information, that you translate it a little bit for the public so they can understand that. The grading rubric is here for that. And you can, again, kind of look through this and I will meet with you at some point or multiple points to talk to you about your project as well, just to make sure your topic's approved and you're going in on the right track, because it is 30% of your grade. But really looking at the significance and the content, that you're providing recommendations, solutions, or strategies for people, or links to resources for them. That's a big area of public health. And being a future public health professional is being able to make recommendations when they're needed to appropriate services. Then the type of platform you picked, and that you paid attention to your audience, the visuals, is it organized, the social media announcements, and then overall quality. And here again, can we disseminate it? Is there going to be, or can it not be because there's too many errors? So that's what's looked at there. Moving on past the projects are the capstone exam. So the date has been set above. Again, if it needs to be changed, it will be posted there and emailed to you. They've got the study guides here that are ready for you to be studying for. And we've had some new professors. If your professor isn't up there yet, it will be posted soon. But you could go ahead and look at the other ones just to kind of get an idea. There could be some similarities, or just start with the other ones because there's a lot of studying there. It is a 3-hour exam. It's multiple choice, true, false, matching, and there's just a few short answer, but primarily is, you can see the multiple choice, true, false, and matching. It's roughly 150 or 165 questions in between there. Kind of depends on the professor that you had. And then for the epidemiology, you were able to use this formula sheet, so you can print and use this for the exam. Studying for the exam, just some general tips. Definitely use the study guides here. You can also email professors if you want to see if they have any other extra tips. You know, a lot of people ask about biostats, in particular epidemiology. Those are still multiple choice. So you might be provided an example and asked to provide you know, do a calculation, but there's going to be choices. So you pick the answer from that choice. If you've had quizzes in your quizzes or exams in your classes, those are also very good resources. Many questions are often taken from some of those. So you've seen maybe a lot of the questions in the past. The professors are not out to trick you. You've worked hard, so it's some of those overarching major themes in the class. But again, asking professors if you have concerns about particular classes or if you want any other tips from them, go directly to the professor for that. So I will be reaching out by email to set up a meeting throughout in the earlier part of the semester, just to talk about this, particularly the project, and make sure you're thinking about it, and see what kind of ideas you might have, or help you with some ideas. That way you can start planning that already from the start, because that can be worked on throughout the semester. The executive summary and the video testimonial are so much more tied to the internship and research practicum, that you need to kind of have that pretty much completely done before, especially on talking about how you achieve the objectives and things like that. So those, particularly the executive summary, is tied to that, and you need to be very close to finishing or finished before you start completing that. Definitely can write some sections of it and get it started though throughout. So if you do want to meet with me before I do reach out to you, please don't hesitate to send me an email. And I look forward to seeing all your projects that you do through this class, also talking with you and talking you through the projects throughout the semester. So thank you, and I will be hopefully seeing you soon.